Hi everybody, this is Jenny and welcome to Miami Lit. Today I'm sharing with you the November setup in my bullet journal, which is a Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid in the A5 size. And I'm starting how I always start, which is with a quote. There are so many beautiful bullet journals out there where the monthly starts with lots of amazing art, but unfortunately that is not where I'm gifted. And that's okay. I'm a word person anyway, so I always have a quote that I came across reading something, working on something, and I try to find some that resonate with me, that have some sort of meaning for where I want my life to go for that month. And you see me here trying my hand at lettering. I used to be quote unquote quite good many years ago when I really had the time to do all these fun things. And now I'm just kind of getting my feet wet back in there. I'm using the Tombow dual brush pens. This is I can't recall the name of the set. I want to say it's like the natural set. I'll make sure that's correct. But it's all these muted browns and greens and blues. It's really beautiful and it goes perfect for the quote for this month for me. I also have to apologize for my big old head getting in the way. I did not realize that was going on. So that's going to happen quite a few times and I'm sorry for that. This was an interesting morning on November 1st. I usually try to do my monthly setups about 3 to 4 days in advance, but for some reason, actually for many reasons, November snuck up on me and this was November 1st and I was so not ready. So I usually like to take about half an hour to myself and just work on my monthly setup and really get into the mindset of what goals I want to accomplish that month and where I want to go. But as I mentioned, I was running out of time. It's November 1st and here I am without anything ready to go. So I decided to go with the flow, and my kids are around me working on their notebooks. My husband's also doing some work and we're just hanging out together and having a good time. As you can see, the quote I used for this month is one by Ralph Waldo Emerson from his essay Nature. It says, "Adapt the pace of nature, her secret is patience." And I really think this quote works well for me this month since I am not really a very patient person. I try very, very hard to be patient because it's a virtue and it really does pay off, but it's hard to wait. And with everything given in the world, everything going on right now with COVID, the social and political climate in the United States, it's hard to be patient. You just want to get through it quickly because of the discomfort that we're in. And I think it's important to remember to be patient and kind of find our place within the discomfort and grow in that discomfort. So this is why I chose this one. And I think it will help me as I have to look at it every single day when I open up my notebook and get ready to plan my day. I'm using some washi tape from the one with the gold foiling is from Sterling Ink, which is so beautiful. It's green leaves. And then just a regular green one from MT is it came in a set of, I think it's 12 washi tapes, and I've had those washi tapes for so long, over 4 years, and they're in great condition. They're not sticky at all and they work absolutely fine. Then I'm using the Uni gold pen to do my version of little leaves, little flowers. I don't even know what they are, but I just wanted to add something little extra fun to the page. I'm not an artist at all, so I try not to stray too far from that since I know I'll end up not liking what I did. But this I'm comfortable with. Little sticks and stuff. I know it may seem tedious to some to have to put so much work into a notebook at the beginning of every month. I sure had that opinion before I decided to give bullet journaling a try myself. And I have to tell you, it really does something for me having to face this blank notebook and really think about how I'm going to structure it for the month and what I want to do that month and the goals I want to accomplish in all separate areas of my life, with work, with family, all the different hats that we wear. And I really have seen the benefits of just taking half an hour every month and just sitting there and trying to draft on paper what I want, the direction I want my life to take for the next 30 days. If you bullet journal, let me know what your process is like at the beginning of the month. I always enjoy seeing how other people go about it. My husband has a very different way, a different approach to his bullet journal. He only uses a black pen and lists out the month in the traditional bullet journal way, and that works for him. But for me, I like a little more interest on the page. So on the left hand side, on the left page, I'm using my Pelican M400 in the tortoise shell, and that is a medium nib. It's inked up currently with Noodler's Walnut, which is a beautiful brown ink. I absolutely love that ink. And on this nib, it's amazing. It's perfect. And I meant to write goals and affirmations and instead started writing gratitude, which is not what that page is for. So I quickly covered it up with a piece of washi and just kept on moving. So as I mentioned, this is my goals and affirmations page. I really abide by thinking about realistic goals that I want to accomplish and setting affirmations or intentions for myself for the month. And every morning I will open up my notebook as I get ready for the day and I'll glance at them, and it's a quick reminder of exactly what I need to be doing to get from point A to point B. Let me know if you're into that kind of stuff. I know some people really enjoy affirmations and I know others don't. So I'm always curious. And here I am using my Ali Brown number stencil to stencil number 11 since we're in the 11th month, and oh my goodness, I am so sorry my head's in the way. Well, it's real life. I have to tell you, I've been enjoying that stencil way more than I thought I would. It's really fun. The numbers are just the right size to be super visible. And if you like to color in your numbers and add a little more interest, it's the perfect size. I'll leave that linked down below. It's from Ali Brown if I didn't mention that. I'm also using the vintage Sarasa pens in the dark green It's beautiful ink. If you are ever curious about those pens, I highly suggest them. They're super fun and the colors are so beautiful. So there's my cover page and my goals and affirmations page almost ready to go. I always like to include a calendar overview, a small one, just because it kind of helps me visually in terms of seeing, okay, where am I in the month, how many days, how many weeks, and so on. It's really helpful. I'm using a craft paper sticky note in which we will stamp the month of November. I use the Versa Magic ink, which is awesome for my Hobonichi, and it works well on the Leuchtturm as well, even though here it's going on a sticky note. But I feel like these dewdrops really work well on most papers. And the stamp I'm using, the monthly blank stamp, is from a shop on Etsy called Cool Stamp Japan. I've had it for about 4 years, and as you can see, it's super dirty, but it works so well. It's one of my best purchases, I think. I've gotten so much use out of it, and it honestly feels like new. Now I'm getting ready to create the monthly calendar. I Because I'm such a visual person, I really like the traditional calendars. I did try for a couple months when I started bullet journaling about 2 years ago, the traditional bullet journal way that writer Carol suggests, which is you just list the numbers for the days down the page. But and I mean that worked fine. It wasn't a problem. I visually like this way so much more. My brain just sees it so much better. I guess from all the years of looking at a calendar this way, it just works. I am using my Hobonichi week stencil as the ruler just because it's the right amount of flexible, and it allows me to really, it's much more comfortable for me, I should say. If you are using a Leuchtturm and you want to do the traditional calendar, I use 7x7, so 7 dots down and 7 across, and I feel like that's a really nice layout and space. The squares end up being big enough to allow room for different appointments and so on, but not super big where it just takes up the whole page. So you still have some room on the side for notes, goals, trackers, whatever you feel like you will need. The other thing I like about doing it this way is that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday always end up being on the left page, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday end up being on the right side of the page. So I can quickly see the weekend, and I know the weekend is always on the right side of the page, and the bulk of my week is on the left hand, which sounds super silly, but for some reason in my head it's perfect. So that first calendar will be my main calendar, where appointments, things that have to do with my family, personal things, house things, everything will go in that calendar. And this second calendar that I'm working on, which is exactly the same as the first, is for work and our business. I found as of late, actually, I used to keep everything in one calendar, but over the last 4 months, I found that keeping the two separate is actually very helpful, because I can clearly see deadlines and dates for things regarding our business and our work separate from everything else, the chaos that's everything else, like change the air filter and all these other things that I don't want distracting me from a big due date or something like that. So in this calendar, all work things end up, and I can see like when I have a difficult or heavy work week because there are so many projects coming up, or vice versa. If I have a lot of appointments going on, which, I mean, we're in COVID, I don't have many appointments, who am I kidding? But normally in regular life, not that in regular life I had a lot of appointments, but you know what I'm saying, kids activities and birthday parties and get-togethers and all those things. So I found that keeping them separate was the best. And now we get to the last of my setup. As you can see, my setup is super simple and it's always following the same format. And here we have the gratitude page and the tracker page. The gratitude I always keep super simple, and I use Writer Carroll's, not method, but like the way he lists the calendar down the page. So it's just the first letter for the day of the week, and the number for the number of the month, the date of the month, sorry. And every day, at the end of the day, when I'm ready to look at how my day went and what things got done, what needs to be moved, and so forth, I come in here really quickly and just take a minute to write something that I'm grateful for. And this has been I cannot live without a gratitude log anymore. Even though this was something that I thought I practiced in my regular life, just having it in its own dedicated space on paper where I can see it has been so much more meaningful. And all it takes, it's a minute or two, and it doesn't need to be anything deep. Sometimes it's just simple, like we got to go on a bike ride today, or it could be something really big, like we got some really good news about something. But it's awesome to keep that gratitude and that mindset going, even if it's just for a little bit each day. And then the right side of the page is my trackers, which I am not very good at. So I try to limit myself to 3 to 4 trackers a month, and that's basically it. That's what my monthly setup looks like. Let me know if you set up your bullet journals like this, if you have a different system. I would love to find out more. I'm always curious about other people's notebooks. So here you go is the final product, and this is what my setup ended up being, and I'm really happy with it. I like the calm colors and I like the layouts. So I am all ready for November. I just have to put some stuff in my calendar and hit the ground running. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.